Some days are better than others. But the whole thing about getting out of the house? That's not really an issue anymore.
Mental health care is working to see what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Welcome to Choose Views with Richard Chew.
Get ready to dive into a world of insightful conversations and thought-provoking discussions.
As progressives, our job is to have an all-inclusive, full-on assault with all of our players.
A show that focuses on moving our political, social, economic, gender, and cultural conversation forward.
And all of our players means all of our players.
It's Choose Views. And now, here's your host, Richard Chew.
Good Wednesday morning, progressives and all the rest. Welcome to the April 8th, 2026 edition of Choose Views, 773-763-9278. Find my show on Facebook Live, TuneIn Radio, and YouTube. Also broadcasting on AM 950 in Minneapolis, AM 1520 and AM 1520 and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina. You can email me at richard@wcpt820.com and follow me on all of the socials. Catch all of our shows by subscribing to our WCPT podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. There you can get Choose Views, featured interviews, Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive, Patty Vasquez, driving you home, and, of course, Edwin Eisendrath with It's the Democracy, Stupid. Or you can focus on It's the Democracy, Stupid. Out Chicago and all of our other great shows and interviews. Make your way over to heartlandsignal.com so that you can like and share the content that we have there at our great digital platform. And we get a lot of comments about, yeah, I did. That's cool. Check that out. And also take a moment and go over, make your way over to our Facebook page. We'll talk a little bit about that throughout the course of today's show. But like and share. And you know that's where we have our question of the day that you guys can respond to. So there you go. That's what's happening and where we want you to go and what we want you to do when you get there. Homework assignments, guys. Homework assignments. That's what it is. Get that lesson and get it done, as my parents used to say. Today's show, we're going to be busy as always. Going to have some fun with our guests and certainly talk about some important things. And on today's show, April 8th, 2026, we'll be talking with in the 6:30 hour, we'll be talking with Dr. Juanita Mora and John Anderson. Dr. Mora is part of the American Lung Association. John Anderson is a cancer survivor, and we'll be chatting with both of them this morning about screenings, risk factors, early detections, and we'll also talk a little bit about allergies. And the season that we are here in Illinois and of course, throughout the country. We'll get into that. In the 7 o'clock hour, our good friend Kurt Mullett from Hoosier Blue 63 will be with us with some updates from Indiana, some thoughts on Iran, and we may talk a little bit about this craziness that's going on with birthright citizenship and a few other items. So looking forward to chatting with Kurt when he is with us at 7. And then with us in studio at 7:30 is U.S. Representative Mike Quigley will be here. And we'll talk about what folks are saying about Trump's war, some of the killing that's taking place in the Middle East, and some of the other legislation that he's been fighting for. So we're looking forward to chatting with all three of our guests. So stay tuned. Get your notebooks out because we will be giving you tools to share with people that you know and that you care about. So just be mindful. We got some stuff coming at you. Our question of the day is going to lead to some interesting conversation, I'm sure. But we want to bring you something that, I guess I'll just give you the question and we can talk about it. Do you guys really give a damn that Republican influencers like Tucker Carlson, Joe Walsh, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Anthony Scaramucci, Ty Cobb want to now invoke the 25th Amendment? Curious. And that's not a yes, it could be your answer could be yes or no. You can give us a call, of course, at 773-763-9278. We'll get the lines open for you so you can call in if you want to, chat about that. And certainly send us a text to that same number. But by all means, as we say, go to our Facebook page and share your thoughts there, because I want to hear what you guys have to say in this space. This is a question that I think a lot of people, it may skip past some of us because we're so busy doing and dealing with all the other things. But do you really give a damn that Republican influencers like Tucker Carlson, Joe Walsh, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Anthony Scaramucci, and Ty Cobb, those are just to name a few, are now starting to say it's the right. I mean, it's correct. You know, it's like 1 + 1 is 2. It's correct that they're saying it, but do you really give a damn that they're saying it now? Particularly, and I think you guys know how I feel about it, or I probably wouldn't be asking the question, particularly given the fact that many folks, me included, have been saying for a long time that not only is it the 25th Amendment that should be invoked, but we also should be looking at how we got here in the first place. Each one of these people had a hand, including Joe Walsh, who's become, a guest on my show and others here on WCPT, are part of the reason that we got here. Guys, you understand that? So when I see them on social media, and some of them are showing up on corporate media saying that we need to invoke the 25th Amendment because of what Trump said most recently over the weekend, particularly, I look at that and kind of shake my head like, who really cares what you have to say? Candidly. I mean, to see all of them clutching their pearls about what Donald Trump is doing and what he's saying and his mental state at this point, I'm like, okay, water's wet. all that's happening, literally all that's happening, we told you, we didn't try. And for those who are running around, even those on the left that are trying to still carry this bucket of water that Kamala Harris wasn't this, Kamala Harris wasn't that, Joe Biden should have done this, Joe Biden should have done that. Shut up. Honestly, you know why? Because it's the people who made the mistake of voting for Trump or not voting at all are the ones that are at the tip of the spear of fault here. Yes, I am pointing fingers at the voters. If they voted the way that they did or they did not vote at all, why would we not point our fingers at them? I know I'm the one that said, from what my father said years ago, and you all have heard versions of it, you point your fingers at somebody, there's 3 coming back at you or whatever. But the broader point is, I'm bringing definition to the fact that these guys, the mindset of these folks, they said that we told them that this was a bad path to go down. They decided to go down that path. And these influencers did the same thing. Every one of them, except for maybe Joe Walsh, and on a depending on the day, Anthony Scaramucci, all said that Trump had the goods and he was going to be the right person. And they were all wrong. But we knew that then. We told them that then. We made it perfectly clear that he would be detrimental to our country. He put Americans in harm's way, everyday Americans. He put our first responders in harm's way by changing the way in which they have to navigate in their day-to-day work. He put everyday citizens in harm's way. So when I hear the question, or when I hear the influencers like Tucker Carlson and on certain days, Joe Walsh or Alex Jones or Candace Owens, Anthony Scaramucci, Ty Cobb, these influencers saying that the 25th Amendment needs to be invoked, I kind of just, want to say bye, Felicia, on that subject with them, because they knew better, but they chose to go down the particular path that they did and not listen to the people. It's not even them not listening. For them, it wasn't about listening. It was about that they had their axe to grind. They had their positions politically and socially, And so here we are. So I want to know your answer to that question. Give us a call or send us a text, and you can certainly go to our Facebook page so that we can get your comments there. But we are getting ready to take a break in a moment, and we will we'll get back to you after we come back from the break so we can share with you some other good stuff. I guess you could say good stuff. Good information, maybe not good in its content, regarding some of the elections that took place yesterday. And, of course, we will talk about this ceasefire. So we're going to take a quick break, guys. The number is 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT AM 820 in Chicago, WARR 1520 AM and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina. And now AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. I'm Richard Chu. We'll be right back.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. As the Donald Trump administration forces ICE to go out grabbing innocent civilians off the streets, it's just kind of ironic how MAGA and even ICE themselves enjoy eating in Mexican restaurants. So let's look at some of the biggest Mexican restaurant chains that support the Democrat Party. Del Taco and Taco Cabana. Now, Del Taco and Taco Cabana are both owned by Yadav Enterprises. The company itself does not donate to politics. However, their founder and CEO, Anil Yadav, only donates to Democrats. Taco Bueno. Taco Bueno is owned by Sun Holdings. Sun Holdings as a company does not give to politics, but their CEO does, and he's kind of varies. He's donated to Hillary Clinton, and he's also donated to Marco Rubio. However, he has never donated a single cent to Donald Trump. So, MAGA, since you have a problem with undocumented immigrants but love eating their food, I have a solution. How about you go order a taco salad from Trump Tower? Don't worry, it's as authentic as your president's tan. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
Tell me how you're doing, really. Tell me that you missed the bus this morning, your rent's past due, and your stress level has skyrocketed. I'm here for you. To listen, not judge. To connect you to local mental health resources. No matter what you're going through, specialists like me from NAMI Chicago Helpline are here for you. Call or text Helpline to 833-626-4244. That's 833-626-4244.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said,
if it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Mike's on, truth's out. This is Choose Views with Richard Chu.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. A couple of quick items from the Choose Views News Library on this April 8th, 2026. America's upper middle class is swelling, driven by wage growth. More American families are climbing into higher income brackets, according to the Wall Street Journal. About 31% of Americans qualified as upper middle class in 2024, a jump from just 10% in 1979. According to the American Enterprise Institute. The Straits of Hormuz traffic increases as Iran cuts deals. The traffic through the Straits reached its highest levels since this Iran war began after Tehran allowed a handful of foreign vessels to pass over the past couple of days. 21 ships crossed the Straits, down from the daily pre-war average of 135. Most vessels were Iranian, but Iraqi and Indian tankers also received safe passage. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. UPS and the Teamsters settle on a severance caps for their drivers. UPS has cut a deal with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters to limit its early retirement offers to 7,500 drivers. The Teamsters had argued that UPS launched the, quote, driver choice program which gives drivers a $150,000 lump sum payment to leave the company without any union negotiations, a violation of the two sides' 2023 labor contract. U.S. homes are getting older and more costly to maintain. America's housing stock is aging, and the cost to maintain homes is climbing fast. The median U.S. home is now 44 years old, according to Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies. Structural repair costs rose roughly 14% from 2022 to 2024, while plumbing costs soared nearly 24%, per the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. And the numbers to watch these next couple of days of this week, tomorrow's Thursday. Wow, that's fast. The Bureau of Economic Analysis will release its revised estimate of the gross domestic product for the fourth quarter of 2025. The Department of Commerce will release February's personal consumption expenditures price index. And on Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the monthly consumer price index for March. So we'll keep you posted on those updates as we try to do every week. And on today's Live, Local, and Progressive, WCPT's Joan Esposito will be talking to Illinois Congressman Bill Foster, Christopher Armitage, author of the Existentialist Republic newsletter on Substack, Aaron Kleinman, head of research at Heartland Signal, and Democratic lawyer Michael Dorff. Live, Local, and Progressive weekdays 2 to 5 here on WCPT AM 820, heartlandsignal.com, and tune in. Tonight, driving it home on WCPT, Patty Vasquez will be joining with the Up North podcast with Minocqua Brewing Company, and contributors Kurt Bankstad and Ben Cominos, Amy Thomas, and more. Driving it home with Patty Vasquez weekdays 5 to 7, WCPT AM 820, Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. The show also airs on KTNF AM 950 weeknights from 9 until 10 Central. There you go. Tomorrow on Choose Views, we'll be joined by Illinois Congressman Sean Casten. Sky Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward, will also be with us. Make sure you make your way over to Facebook, where you can post your comments. We're reading them as well. So please leave your thoughts, like and share. Find it at facebook.com/WCPT820. All right. A couple of quick updates on things that have taken place. In terms of elections, unfortunately, Sean Harris did not win the Georgia 14th Congressional District seat that he was running for. That would be Marjorie Taylor Greene's old seat. Clay Fuller did win. And I got so many things racing through my head about that race or about that district. But at the end of the day, the voters made the decision. And, Sean got even more votes than he did in the pre-runoff. But here's the thing that I have to say about this. I'll take this route. Kudos to Sean, first and foremost. He ran extraordinarily great, hard race all over the place, talked to many, many people, and has become a name and a voice in our political landscape, as he should be, because I think he would be a great person in that congressional seat. Clay Fuller was kind of parachuted in and got the endorsement of Donald Trump. Here's how I look at that. The Georgia voters in that district voted for who they wanted, and they're going to get what they're going to get, which is nothing and more of Trump garbage. That's what's going to happen. The military men and women that are there, the veterans and those that are active duty, are going to see if we have these kind of issues with this war in Iran, they're going to see losses. They're going to be just like any other community in the country that has children and family members and all that serve. But the voters there made their decision. Many of them voted straight party line. I would say that the diversity of the voters that I saw for Sean Harris was much broader than the voters that voted for Clay Fuller. And that's important to look at because it speaks to the fact that culture, race, and bias and gender still favor the Republican Party as a way that as part of how they make their decisions for voting. not who the best person is for them. They saw it as I saw a couple of interviews of people who were in the state and the district that were voting, and the people that were voting for Fuller were two people literally said that Donald Trump said that we should vote for him, so that's what I'm going to do. Literally. So how I position that is this: what you decided to do is vote for a person that was endorsed by a 34-time convicted felon that's cheated on that based on the evidence has had affairs on each of his wives based on the next person that he married. That would be factual. And the same person that has been accused of sexual assault, convicted or adjudicated in that space, and is now one of the names and faces at the tip of the Epstein files, and is taking us to war, and is causing your prices to go up. But he endorsed the guy in that you voted for because Donald said to do it, or your other biases that took you down that path. Whatever it may be, Georgia, Northwestern Georgia, you chose the wrong person. I'm going to say that because Sean is a better candidate. Fuller was parachuted in to be a puppet for Donald. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch the debate that they had 2 weeks ago. When asked a question about what he was going to do to bring things to the citizens of the district, all he did was repeat Donald Trump talking points. So he'll be a puppet for Donald Trump through Mike Johnson. And we'll see what happens in November when that seat actually is for full re-election. We'll see what happens. But kudos to Sean for his hard work, his commitment, and the work that he put in to bring attention to the community. He's done more in his campaign to bring a light to that community than Marjorie Taylor Greene did, or that Clay Fuller will do as the elected congressperson. So kudos to Chris Taylor, Wisconsin judge who won the seat for the state Supreme Court yesterday. Very strong election, and she ran a great one. And she put together all the work that she needed to do to beat a very conservative appeals court judge, Maria Lazar. So shout out to Chris Taylor up in Wisconsin for winning that seat. And we just keep picking them off, guys. We haven't won them all. The two races that have been congressional seats that we haven't won was Afton Dean, that we didn't get that one, and we didn't get this one here with Sean Harris. But doggone it, we fought our behinds off and got really, really close. Close doesn't win, but it does. It should give us the inspiration to know that we can win these races, and that's the message that I want to take from all this. Before we go to this for our next break and have our first guest on, and we will get to your calls, guys. I'll make a point of getting you squeezed in there. The reports are that there is going to be a ceasefire for 2 weeks in Iran, and apparently there is a deal that's been cut to make this happen. So we'll see how that plays itself out. I won't get into the details or the weeds of it because we don't have enough information, one, but equally important, to what extent is it going to be upheld? And one of the things that's pretty crazy about this that I read is that the Iranians don't trust Trump. So there you go. Let's take a quick break, guys. The number is 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT, AM 820 in Chicago, WARR 1520 AM 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina, and now AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. I'm Richard Chu. We'll be right back.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details. Are you looking for more in this world? Are you ready for something bigger? Then we are looking for you. The big-hearted, the bold, the messy and the gutsy. The teachers, the growers, the builders. The skilled, the sharers, the change makers. We need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go all in and all out. We are volunteers, partners, communities, working together, living together, bringing our experience, passion, and joy to building a better world together. From tackling climate change in Mexico to keeping kids healthy in Kenya, from sustainable farming in the Philippines to education in Kosovo. We learn more, give more, share freely, and serve boldly. Are you ready to tackle the tough stuff? To go the distance to make a difference? Then we have a place where you belong. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Skies will become mostly sunny here for today with a high in the upper 60s. Breezy south winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late, increasing cloud cover, a low near 54. By Thursday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, cloudy skies, high of 67 degrees. Friday, chance for rain, high of 54. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 37.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
It's Choose Views, where we read more than just the headline. Now here's your host, Richard Chew.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Of course, 773-763-9278 is the number. We, oh gosh, man, wow, callers. There we go. We got to take care of our guests first. All right, this is a time of year here in Illinois, well, really throughout the country, but certainly here in Illinois, when as the seasons are changing, we deal with a little bit of a change in our air quality. And with us this morning is someone that has spent a lot of her career really helping people navigate through various, allergies and various diseases, particularly when it comes to breathing. The American Lung Association has been a huge supporter of building relationships with local experts, physicians, and the like. And to that end, we have with us this morning one of those voices, Dr. Juanita Mora, a physician with the American Lung Association. Good morning, Dr. Mora, and welcome to Choose Views.
Good morning, Richard. Always a pleasure to be with you and talk about important subjects, obviously, for the public.
That's right. Absolutely. And also with us this morning is one of what we would like to say is a survivor of, the big C, John Anderson III, stage 3 lung cancer survivor. John, good morning to you as well, and welcome to Choose Views.
Good morning, young man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great, and thank you for being with us this morning. Thanks to both of you for the time. And I want to just say this. It's when we talk about this as April being National Cancer Control Month, Dr. Mora, I guess I'll come to you first. What are some of the things that you as a physician, but also just a kind of a citizen local leader in this space, what are some of the things that you try to articulate to folks every day when it comes to early screenings, when it comes to knowing what might be concerns or items that people should be paying attention to?
Sure. One big push that we're doing in 2026 is a lot of people stopped going to the doctor during the pandemic because a lot of clinics closed or they felt, obviously they didn't have access to care. They were scared to go to the doctor, et cetera. And then for the Latino community, we came through the ICE rates where people stopped going to the doctor again. So I'm calling 2026 the year where everyone takes back their health, meaning going back to screening, not only for lung cancer, but colon cancer, pap smears for cervical cancer, prostate exams, getting their cholesterol checked. It's about being healthy, and this is what saves lives, because if we catch cancer early, it means survival rate really increases, and that's what it's all about, saving lives.
Yeah, early detection is so important, and I appreciate you reminding us of how COVID did take so many people away from, going to the doctor. I mean, we were hunkered down and wearing masks and trying to be as responsible as we could as citizens. But we also, I think it's somewhat forgotten how the impact of ICE being in various cities in America has impacted folks leaving their homes, especially if they are in an immigrant community, and more specifically the Latino community. I sometimes forget about that myself. But are you seeing people in those communities starting to get, I guess, maybe feeling a little less stressed and maybe more willing to get out to go and see their physician for some of those screenings and testings?
Yes, we're seeing definitely an increase in people going to the doctor again and getting back to their doctor's visits. And that's the push we're doing as well, too, is really everyone trying to get their health back and going back to their blood screening, their tests, everything, because breast cancer is not going to wait. Lung cancer is not going to wait. So we got to do the screening so we can catch it early and definitely prolong the lives of these grandmothers, these moms, these dads, these grandfathers, et cetera.
Yeah. John, tell us a little bit about your journey and how you have made it through to be a survivor of this condition.
Wow. Let me start with my story real quick. I was a blue-collar worker. I had a shoulder injury. And also during this time, I had a few symptoms as far as cancer. I had the phlegm coming up, a little fever, sluggishness. But I thought it was my job because I was enduring out there. I was in great physical condition. This is the part about early screening. And also as an African-American man and also a man that's also dealing with the Latino community. Unfortunately, most of our men, due to it could be what you could say fear, lack of the proper insurance, lack of knowledge, the language barrier, mistrust, and also just afraid they're going to find something. Yeah. I was a how can I put that? I was a well-insured young man. I was a great physical, but I refused to go because my shoulder was killing me. I was going to try to hang in there, but my wife pushed me. The women in my life pushed me to go to the doctor, and that's when they found the lump in my left lung. Eventually, it was so aggressive, they removed my left lung. I went to chemo to no avail. I tried a drug. It didn't work, and they finally sent my specimen in to be tested. And I'm a candidate. I'm a survivor because of biomarker testing, which is a special medication they use to kind of go with my DNA to help me out. And right now I'm talking to you all because of that. But let me tell you something about early screening. I am a third-stage cancer survivor. I was lucky. Because of that marker, that gene in my DNA when I got this. But it's so important to get out here and get screened early because if you catch it, there's so much less after. People don't realize, too, once you get involved with this disease, it's aftercare. So the earlier you catch it, the less care, the less money, and less pain on your family. So it's so important to get out here and get screened. If I hadn't got screened or pushed out, even though I had everything I needed to be taken care of, excuse my background, it was I wouldn't be here. So the importance is getting screened, especially men. So Dr. Moore's going to give you guys a number. And I want you all to just remember, let your mothers, daughters, sisters, cousins, whoever female, promote and push these men to get tested.
In other words, John, guys, don't be hard-headed in this space. Listen to the people around you, of course, but listen to your body. I mean, Dr. Mora, this is one of the things that I think we all, because we get caught up in working and going and doing and living our lives and just, John put it well, just kind of doing what you do, that we sometimes don't listen to our bodies. We don't listen to ourselves. And, he said it best. He had a little cough, a little phlegm. He thought it was, from the work that he did and all the other things, and considered himself in pretty good physical condition. But there was something else that was going on. And so I think that listening to our bodies is in some cases as important as the early screening. That's kind of like the earliest form of screening, is listening to our bodies. Would you agree?
Yep.
Absolutely. And this is why the American Lung Association, along with the Illinois Department of Public Health, launched this campaign for lung cancer. We're trying to get as many people screened as possible so we can catch it early. We know that 225,000 people are diagnosed with lung cancer every year in the United States, and 125,000 people die from lung cancer. So when we're looking, it's equal in men and women. And I love John's story for so many reasons, but one is, the message he has for men is kind of get screened. Don't wait for your wife to take you to the doctor. Because, for example, for lung cancer, it's sometimes the actual symptoms present a little bit late. It can present with new onset cough that won't go away, shortness of breath, fatigue upon walking that can also occur, coughing up blood, unintentional weight loss. These are all signs that can be lung cancer. And the people we're looking to screen are the highest risk. People who are 50 to 80 years of age, who have a 20-year pack history of smoking, that's 1 pack per day for 20 years or 2 packs per day for 10 years or any combination. Anyone who has quit smoking in the last 15 years, or someone who's currently a smoker, because they're going to be the highest risk for lung cancer.
Wow. So this is a question when we rank lung cancer to heart disease or other systemic illnesses that lead to death, where does lung cancer rank, and what is it that we see? What are we seeing from people in terms of their awareness of that?
Sure. Well, it's the number one cancer in the whole United States in both men and women. And lung cancer accounts for 20% of all deaths from cancer itself. And when we're looking at the prevalence through other actual medical conditions such as heart disease or high blood pressure, high cholesterol, it ranks even higher. And yet it doesn't get attention. And I know we do a big program for breast cancer for women, and we do other programs for other cancers. But when it comes to lung cancer, the amount of people who get lung cancer is so much higher than breast cancer plus cervical cancer plus prostate cancer altogether. So this is why the big push to give them a free screening. This is what the American Lung Association is offering. For anyone who thinks they're at risk, all they have to do is call 844-ALA-LUNG, 844-ALA-LUNG, and they'll be given a questionnaire to see if they qualify for the free screening. They'll be pointed to the screening center closest to their home, and they'll even provide free transportation if they don't have it so that people get screened.
So in terms of environment, I mean, there's a lot of people who are diagnosed with lung cancer that don't smoke, and they may not have even been in a household where a parent or a sibling or some member of that family smoked, but the environmental impacts are out there. Dr. Moore, talk a little bit about how our environment is impacting people when it comes to lung cancer being diagnosed.
Sure, Richard. One of my favorite topics to talk about, by the way. But it's the particle pollution in our environment that can lead to lung cancer. And one thing we know is this is why we have to do a big push for the government to continue to fund the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and to keep the strict pollution particle standards that we have, because it protects everyone and it allows people to breathe. We know that when particle pollution is high, we have the perfect example, the 9/11 tragedy, where all these firemen helped rescue so many people, but they were breathing in all the particle pollution from the actual bombings that happened during 9/11. And what happened to them is a lot of them developed lung cancer long term. And the reason for it is the particles are so tiny, and they go right in, through our nose, our mouth, and even through our eyes, and they go right directly to the lungs, and they settle there. And it puts people at in short-term periods, it puts them at risk for a new onset cough, new onset asthma or wheezing, causes inflammation all throughout. But as these particles leave the lungs and go to other organs, and long-term it predisposes people to Alzheimer's disease, strokes, for mommies who are pregnant, preterm delivery, lung cancer. So this is why we do such a big push, because our environment also plays a big role in keeping us healthy, because if you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
Without a doubt. Thank you both for being with us for this quick first segment. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, obviously, I've got questions for you, John. The number is 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT AM 820 in Chicago, WARR 1520 AM and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina, and now AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. I'm Richard Chu. We'll be right back.
Kohl's Epic Deals prove one thing. A good deal is the best feeling. Better than remembering your password on the first try. Or that first sip of coffee in the morning. Well, okay, the coffee is pretty close. But still, Kohl's Epic Deals are hard to beat. Save big on comfy tees, sandals, cozy bedding, and more at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles. Offers end April 12th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
WCPT 820 listeners, it's time for some girls news. In 2026, women's entrepreneurship is surging. Driven by a desire for flexibility and accelerated by AI and digital tools, women are increasingly leading in e-commerce, wellness, and service-based sectors, with a major trend towards solo, high-impact, and home-based businesses designed for a work-life balance. Women entrepreneurs are heavily utilizing AI and e-commerce tools to streamline operations and reduce cost. 68% of women entrepreneurs have cited a work-life balance as a primary motivator to becoming a business owner, driving the demand for virtual assistants, digital marketing, consulting, and online coaches. Now, despite the growth, there is a push for better banking support and policy with a focus on addressing the $3 trillion opportunity for women and minority-owned business acquisitions. WCPT 820 listeners, I'm Whitney Rydell, and this has been your Girls News.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Don't hit that snooze button. It's time for Choose Views with Richard Chu.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. In case you just joined us, we are talking with Dr. Juanita Mora, physician with the American Lung Association, and stage 3 lung cancer survivor John Anderson III. John, let me ask you this question. You talked earlier about your diagnosis and how getting to the doctor was largely driven off of your wife and family members pushing you to go get checked out. But how does a family navigate when a loved one is diagnosed like you have been? And what's it been like to get, I always say, to the other side of this disease?
That's one of the heaviest parts of that. That's why I'm an advocate out here, because when I got diagnosed, I thought it would never happen to me. I thought it'd never happen to me. My wife had just lost her mom. I just lost my aunt to cancer. It was like going crazy. And the first thing I thought about, I didn't think about me. I thought about my kids, my wife, my mom, my grandkids. I'm saying, what am I going to do? And that's why I'm out here stressing men to please get screened early. It's not just about you. People are counting on you. You have people that are being stressed. My children were, man, they were not themselves. Neither was my wife. It was a lot on us. But let me tell you something. You, as a cancer survivor, someone that's diagnosed, please talk to your doctor. Make sure you ask and I don't care if it sounds like the silliest question, ask it. Also, talk to people I talked to other people when I was in the waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
We have a fraternity or a sorority of people I've been seeing since, for the past 8 years, 10 years almost. And I've seen people go and I've seen people come. But the main reason I'm here, young man, is because I don't want people to go through what I went through. I am the survivor. I'm the one who actually went through chemo, went through medication. Now I'm taking a medication for the rest of my life, but I'm here. But if I had got diagnosed a little bit earlier, it would have been a lot easier on me, my family, and my finances. Because this isn't ongoing. It's constant aftercare. But that's the reason why I'm here. Please, especially men of color, Latino, black men, we, unfortunately, 70% of us die from lung cancer because of late diagnosis. And that to me is just unacceptable. So I'm out here pushing. Dr. Mora's got my back. Everybody's got my back. And also you, young man, you have our back. I want to say thank you. And being on the other side now, I'm grateful, but I have to help others not to go through what my family and I went through.
John, and that's why when I say things like I'm honored to be talking with folks like you, is you're still here with us and you are fighting in some cases, in some ways, harder than you fought before, because you know what the stakes are and you know what the risks are. So we really appreciate the fact that you are being bold in your statement about how folks have got to, seek early diagnosis, go for the screenings, and be mindful of the fact that it does impact so many people in your life. So thank you for just keeping us aware and reminding us of that. Dr. Mora, one of the things that a lot of people don't know about you, and we'll try to get this squeezed in as we wrap up, is your involvement with the Chicago Allergy Center, and your involvement with allergy awareness, I guess, is also another part of this conversation. You talk about particles, you talk about our air. I asked a question about the environment and the air that we breathe. But we're in, for lack of good terms, kind of the allergy season here in the upper Midwest and specifically Chicago. Dr. Mora, tell us some of the things that you want people to be mindful of when it comes to allergens, pollen, and all the rest.
We are in the midst of a pollen season, exactly. I'm seeing tons of faces right now, kids and adults, with symptoms. And we had a good winter, which means the freeze was good, so the pollen's coming out with a nice vengeance. And climate change, obviously, is affecting it because we have milder winters, we have longer springs, longer summers. When compared to 50 years ago, our allergy season is 62 days longer a year. So what I want people to know is, obviously, monitor for your symptoms. The way allergies work, they hit the nose, causing stuffy nose, mucus can't go down, goes up into the sinuses, causing sinus congestion, up to the eyes, itchy, swollen eyes, to the ears, itchy ears, down to the lungs, and can cause allergic asthma symptoms as well, too. So this is a good time for you to visit your doctor or your child's doctor as well, too, to see what you can do as far as medications that you can take, because not one medication fits all. I know that a lot of them are over the counter, but you want to make sure which ones are safe in pregnancy, which ones are safe for kids, what's the right dosage for a child, and then also for the adults. And environmentally, things that we can do, making sure we sleep windows closed rather than windows open right now. 2, after you've been out all day at the park, after an event, working out outside, coming back, taking a shower, changing your clothes. And 3, driving windows closed rather than windows open as well, too. If you work outdoors and you have a lot of bad seasonal allergies, people can wear a mask as well so they don't inhale all this. And if you have asthma, making sure you have your rescue inhaler in hand at all times as well.
One of the things that I guess just came out of COVID is I'm become more and more mindful of when I'm doing certain tasks that are outdoors or that involve any kind of chemicals or sprays or even just just light duty things outside of the house where there's going to be, potential for allergens to, get into the system. I've been wearing a mask, even doing some of those I guess you could say toxic things. What are your thoughts there for our listeners, Dr. Mora?
I think you're doing the right thing, Richard. A lot of patients tell me they're doing that as well, too. And it's true, especially on bad quality air days, it's so important that we wear a mask. Or if you're very allergic to the outdoors environment, making sure we wear a mask, especially if we're going on long walks and so forth, because it keeps things under good control. And you're not inhaling all these particles, too, which is important.
Yeah. What about, I guess the right word would be aspiration, making sure that your breathing system is cleared out. I mean, are there recommendations that you have there in terms of just keeping your system flushed and not, I mean, we're on the air, so this is one of those icky conversations about boogers, but Dr. Mora, help us out there in terms of what people can do to stay kind of flushed and fluid.
Sure, especially people who work outdoors in construction and so forth. One thing I do recommend is nasal saline irrigation. So if they come home, taking a shower, changing their clothes, and doing nasal saline washes so that they really basically wash out all the pollen from their nose through their lungs. So it just rinses everything else, which is really nice. And the other thing is a HEPA filter inside the home that'll keep everything under good control as well, too, filtering all the particles that we bring in also with our clothes or anything else from the outdoors.
Got it. Well, John, one last bit of sort of inspirational comments and words that you can share with our audience about just where you are and what your feelings and beliefs are at this point.
My feelings and belief right now, young man, is that there is a dynamic chance that you will survive if you get detected earlier. I was stage 3. My cancer was so aggressive, but I am still here. And that's the good part about what's going on, because I was at the cusp of biomarker testing back, I believe it was in 2015. So I was new, but now the innovations and the medicine and the science is getting so much better now that I was at a room full of people that were survivors due to medication and due to getting screened earlier. So there is a chance, and please don't be afraid. The CT scan, I have one every 3 to 4 months, and it is painless, man. It's 5 minutes. There's no claustrophobia. But the main thing is that you got to take care of it. Like Dr. Mora said, there's so much going on in this world. I was a truck driver. And believe it or not, they can tell what area of the United States you live in just by looking at your lungs because of what you inhale. Wow. So it's so important. But it's chances that you got opportunities now because of the American Lung Association and all this money we're getting or trying to get and keep funding to keep this research going to save people. It's out there. So it's a chance that you will survive. So get it done. Absolutely. God bless you all.
John Anderson III, thank you for being with us, and thanks for those words. We appreciate you keeping us strong in that space. And Dr. Juanita Mora, who is a physician with the American Lung Association, thank you for being with us, both of you. Dr. Mora, look forward to having you back on again so we can talk more about boogers and snot and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Anytime, Richard.
She's awesome.
Have a beautiful day, everyone.
You too.
She's awesome.
So,
God bless.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for being with us. Be well. We'll talk soon. All right, guys, there you go. Boogers and snot. What can I tell you? We all got to deal with it. Some people think it's boogers, but it's not. I can't take credit for that. That's an old Red Fox joke, so I will be respectful in that regard. Let's take a quick break. 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT AM 820 in Chicago and WARR 1520 AM and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina. And now, AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. I'm Richard Chu. We'll be right back.
The key to unlock the next breakthrough in life-saving cancer research could be sitting in your driveway. Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. These innovations lead to better cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. which means we can help save lives right now. Cancer affects all of us. Today alone, 5,370 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. It will take all of us standing up together to put an end to it. So when you're looking to get rid of your old car, truck, motorcycle, RV, or boat, why not donate it to Stand Up to Cancer? Donating is easy and tax deductible. We'll even tow your vehicle for free. You can be a driving force in cancer research. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Skies will become mostly sunny here for today with a high in the upper 60s. Breezy south winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late, increasing cloud cover, a low near 54. By Thursday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, cloudy skies, high of 67 degrees. Friday, chance for rain, high of 54. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 39.
In 1776, we defied a corrupt king, and the America we love was born from that defiance. Now it's time to do it again. America is in crisis, but patriots across the country are standing up to save her for ourselves and our posterity. Show your support with the No Kings lapel pin, a 1-inch by 1-inch standard American flag lapel pin embedded with our No Kings symbol. So much better than that tacky red hat. It's a subtle but powerful way to say you've had enough of wannabe dictators and you're doing something about it. Every day, keep our movement going by wearing this pin that clearly says what freedom-loving Americans are thinking. There are no kings in America, and there never will be. Go to store.politicalvoicesnetwork.com. That's store.politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Get your No Kings lapel pin now.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
We may be waking up, but we're still engaged. It's Chew's Views with Richard Chew.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're going to grab a quick call before we bring Kurt on. Let's go to our good friend Al in Franklin Park. Hey Al, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Richard. I was calling about your question this morning.
Yes.
And I was going to say I feel like you asked the question wrong.
Uh-oh.
Because we realize that these people are grifters and they're making lots of money from, the conservative or the oligarchs, the people playing them. I already heard this morning on one of the other channels that they're throwing these people under the bus already.
Yeah.
Because they're wrong. And we have to be, so how can we use this to expose what is happening on the other side? How can we use this to move our cause forward? And that would be, how I would be asking the question. And even with your question yesterday when you said, will there be any attacks in the U.S.? And I'd be saying, how can we prevent that from happening? So that's just my comment on that, and I just feel there's just so much going on. These guys are all grifters on the other side, and we got to bring them to our we got to use it to expand our cause.
Got a good point. Al, thanks for the call. Thanks for the reminder, and I will always be mindful of upgrading our questions. So thanks, Al. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to you soon. All right, it's Wednesday, and that means that our good friend Kurt Mullett is ready to hang out with us for a little bit. And Kurt, good morning. Welcome to the show. Uh-oh, can't hear him. I can see him, but I can't hear him. Let's try again. Uh-oh. Kurt, I know he's there. I can see him. I can see him on the camera, but I can't hear him. So, and he didn't freeze up, so it's not that. We'll figure it out. But anyhow, what Al said, I completely get, and it makes sense. We do want to be maybe more in prevention mode when it comes to an attack on American soil or our embassies. We as a country should be looking at it that way. I don't know if the Republicans feel that way or not. Their actions would dictate differently because they are in support of this war. Now, as it relates to what Al said about my question around the 25th Amendment, we can use the conversation around it to galvanize our side of the aisle. And I'm going to ask Congressman Quigley when he's in something about the potential upcoming new Congress in the fall. But yeah, I think as it relates to the 25th Amendment, my question was based on what we've been saying to people about this administration for a long time, about this president. And some of you have even commented on online as it relates to sending me a text. I get it. We want to bring them, anybody that's pushing back now. We don't want to push away people who are ready to join us in this fight. I get that. And I've gotten a number of texts this morning saying, Richard, let's not push away Republicans that have finally, gotten their heads right. And that's my word. So I understand that. I do. But I also think that we have to be willing to tell them, we aren't going to condemn you for being part of the team or wanting to be part of the team or having your right mind. But this time you got to listen, because this is nothing new to us. We didn't just tell you or bring this up that this would happen. We've been saying this for a long time. So if you're going to join this fight, then you got to fight and be ready to do the things that we've been telling you need to be done, rather than coming in and telling us how it should be. I've listened to people like Scaramucci for a long time, and he kind of, what direction is the wind blowing? And then he parachutes in to make his latest statement. So does Rahm Emanuel, to be honest with you. He'll parachute in and make a statement about something. Well, Rahm, you're not saying anything that we don't already know. So if you're going to be in the fight, whether you're running for president or governor or not, be in the fight. Stop sitting on the sidelines sort of dictating what needs to happen. And that's the part about this that I think is a challenge, is that how do we navigate the people who we don't want to condemn, that want to be part of this fight now or say they want to see things different. But how do we not condemn them at the same time? How do we get them to be contributors and participants? I believe that we have to be open to them calling for the 25th Amendment, be open to them doing and wanting us to do other things. At the same time, we have to be mindful that we can't give up a seat in this fight to someone that's been fighting against us all this time. We can include them, but I want people who've been in the fight that have been in the fight for the long haul to be acknowledged for them being in the fight for the long haul. That's part of what I'm saying. I'm not trying to throw anybody. I'm not trying to condemn anyone who voted, but now has come to the reality that they made the wrong choice, as one of our listeners said. We will embrace them. We do have to come together and correct this horrific horror show that we're involved in. So let me know what your thoughts are on that question, and we'll do our best to get it on and talk about it and learn something from what you guys have to say, which is one of the reasons why we're asking the question like we're doing each day. Do we have no? I'm
here.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. There he is.
I'm here.
I'm here. That was like a voice from God. I'm here. I'm here. Kurt Mullett, y'all. Good morning, Kurt. Welcome to Choose Views. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good,
glad
man.
To be here.
I'm glad you're
here.
A
voice from God, huh?
It was that moment, because the way you said it, went, "I'm here." It's like somebody scripted that in as okay. We're gonna have Kurt be the voice of God this morning. Are you gonna say in a voice with resonances, "I'm here"?
Yeah, sorry, I was having some difficulties this morning, so
but you're
been
here.
Sleeping good the last couple nights.
Well, you were probably, I don't know, I don't want to predict this, but you may have been anticipating that, are we going to destroy the civilization of an entire group of people? What is that going to lead to?
Yeah.
I mean, that may have been on your mind.
Yeah, I had many discussions yesterday about that, and it absolutely was on my mind. I was upset about Sean losing last night. That bothers me.
Me too.
You know, I really thought he was going to pull it off. And it just proves to, I don't know, to your point about the question that you're being asked, or you're asking about the right-wing influencers.
I mean, Kurt, am I approaching? Let me throw this at you too, because I know you're going to have perspective. Am I approaching this the wrong way? I will hear this. Am I approaching this the wrong way? Should I be saying all hands on deck, and maybe I should be saying things like, someone said, Richard, it's no time for a purity test. Am I approaching this from the wrong position? I mean, I trust your observations in this space. And is it that time where we do say everybody's got to get involved so we can right this ship? I mean, help us understand that maybe a little bit differently, or the same. I mean,
I don't think you're approaching it from the wrong position. I think it has to be approached from all different angles. This is also something. This isn't something new that has been said. Haven't we been talking about this in some sort of manner for a long time, that, we can't do this on our own? It has to be, people have to finally wake up and realize that the Republican Party is not the Republican Party. It's a MAGA world. And I think the comments that were received for, people being asked why they voted for the dude against Sean, and I'm not even going to say his name, Clayton, but anyway, Donald told me to vote for him. Mm-hmm. I think when it gets down to it, MAGA is MAGA and will always be MAGA. And these influencers, although I appreciate them stepping up and saying some things, Tucker Carlson's going to have to say a lot more than that for me to just like MTG. I mean, you have spent years attacking those of us on the left and saying that we're the lunatics and we're the problems and we're the poison and all of this, and supporting your MAGA Jesus. And now all of a sudden, you went to church Sunday and you've got a revelation in your mind that, maybe he is a bad guy. I mean, come on. It's...
Yeah, that's what I
can't say what I want to, but
that's the part that I struggle with. And as much as I do, and I try to have this 84-inch wingspan, embrace all folks, my brain says, listen, we told you this. How could you not know it, of all people, because you were on that side of it? Okay, I get it, Chew. Back down, embrace them, bring them into the conversation so that we can maybe, if Tucker Carlson's going to bring, 500,000 people back to the fight, to this side of the fight, and if MTG and all the, the others that I mentioned are going to bring, their group of people to the fight to get rid of Trump, okay, great. Where you been? It's like,
did MTG endorse Sean Harris?
She didn't come out and endorse him. No, not that I could see. So, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
And until they start doing things like that, you could stand up there and talk all you want.
Yep.
But until you actually start doing things that are proving to us, if she would have come out and endorsed Sean Harris, said, look, this is how much anti-MAGA I am, I endorse Sean Harris, but she didn't do that.
And here's to that point. This is why I wanted to kind of just openly bear myself on this question and say, correct me if you think I'm off the rails on this, because to that point, to that very specific point, Donald Trump endorsed the guy that Donald Trump endorsed is going to be another sycophant, and at least Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of said, I can't do this anymore. However she got there. We're going to need to go down that path. But this is where I go. But then if you were really concerned about the people of northwestern Georgia not having another Trump person in that spot, then you should have endorsed Sean Harris and really set the world on fire. That, to me, would have been going after Trump was one thing, but to have endorsed Sean, that would have been the boldest of moves that she could have done, to be, if you want to be, brutally honest.
And it would have proven that
she's really down with us. Yeah.
But she failed to do that. I mean, the fact that these guys are now coming out, all these no wars presidents are now all of a sudden realize he's a warmonger. I mean,
yeah, I know.
We've been telling you.
We didn't try to tell you. We told you. And so
we told you.
I know that people don't want us to spend too much time on that, but part of it does have to be addressed, because as we are acknowledging that they're acknowledging that we need to make some changes, it also it should force us to say we've got to do things a little bit differently when it comes to how we're building our team. We've got to take a quick break, Kurt. So let us do that, and then we'll come back. The number is 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT AM 820 in Chicago and WARR 1520 AM and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina. And now, the folks up in Minnesota, the progressive voice of Minnesota, AM 950. I'm Richard Chu. We'll be right back.
Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can you recommend a bank that offers a full suite of commercial banking products along with excellent service?
Yes, ABOC.
What about a bank that has been in Chicago for more than 100 years and really understands the local business climate?
ABOC.
But I manage a labor union. Can you recommend a bank that really understands how labor unions operate and what banking products they need?
Again, ABOC. ABOC first opened its doors in downtown Chicago in 1922 and understands the local business climate better than anyone. ABOC was founded by labor unions and still has union employees and shareholders today, so they really understand how unions tick and how their needs may be different. But whether you're with a labor union or another type of business, whether you're large or small or something in between, ABOC will always make you feel like you're their most important customer. Visit ABOC.com to learn more.
Wow, thank you, random person on the street. I'm going to visit ABOC.com today.
Member FDIC.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early. Bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
Not all people are the same. And yet, when we visit the doctor, our treatments don't look that different. Why is that? Because we just don't have enough information to do it better. By gathering health data from 1 million people, our country's best researchers will be able to develop treatments that are as unique and complex as we are. With this new information, doctors will have a better understanding of disease so they can innovate the next great breakthroughs in medicine. Learn more at joinallofus.org.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Debunking the lies your uncle saw on Facebook. It's Choose Views with Richard Chu.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. In case you just joined us, we're talking with our good friend Kurt Mullett from Hoosier Blue 63. Kurt, some of the comments that I've gotten, the comments have varied on social media and certainly our text this morning about where we can kind of land this plane of working with, dealing with, hearing those on the right, whether they be influencers or others, regarding the 25th Amendment, working with us, coming to our side, and being embraced and so forth. So there's an interesting mix of different comments. But the central theme that I have gotten is that people still don't really trust that these Republicans are in it for the right reasons. Some have said that they just, now that they're at this point where they know that Trump's a dumpster fire, which they already knew, But they're really looking at the next phase, which is to get, if the 25th Amendment were to be enacted and to be put through by the cabinet, it's because their goal is to get J.D. Vance in as president and then have access to him to manipulate him. What are your thoughts about that? That's a long one, but what are your thoughts there?
Well, first off, he's in Hungary with Viktor Orban, trying to help him steal another election. So there's that fact right there.
Right.
That JD. So if that's their goal, then, look, I've said multiple times, and I will continue saying it. Once Trump is out of the picture, it will fall apart. JD does not have the charisma, does not have the, he's a pawn, and people like Russ Vought and Homan and Stephen Miller can manipulate him and push him in a direction that they want him to go in, but he does not have the support throughout the base of Congress and Senate, nor does those people fear him like they do Trump. So I don't think it's going to matter one way or another. I think the only thing that it does secure is that there will be a living president through 2028, because I just do not think Trump's going to make it. If he does, I'll be shocked. His
and let's be clear for anybody, Kurt is not, and I'm not saying we want him to not make it. We want him to fail.
I didn't say that.
Right. We want him to fail because what he's doing to this country and frankly the world is harming people's lives. It's costing people's lives. So we want him to fail at that as a president and all the other things. I'll be very clear about that. But, I agree with Kurt. I question that often. Will Donald Trump make it through this next entire cycle, especially, and we'll talk to Mike Quigley about this when he's in, especially if the Democrats take back the House and take back the Senate. If that happens, I mean, then I think that you're probably onto something, because he won't make it through his presidency by one way or the other. Not saying that he's going to pass away, but that if we win back the House and the Senate, and I'll be PO'd like nobody's business if they don't go for the jugular on the first day of the new Congress. I mean, immediately. Well,
they better.
They have
to.
They have to.
They better. They better, or the heat's going to come down on them. I mean, because this is, enough. We've had enough.
Kurt,
we cannot go through. We cannot continue to do the things that we have done in the past as far as Democrats in this party. We cannot allow this ever to happen again. We have to put an end to it, and we have to make sure that we do the right things in order for this never to happen again. It cannot. This should be an awakening for every single non-MAGA person in America at what he has done and what he's been allowed to do, even though we have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. Look at what this man has done.
Yeah.
He has had no guardrails whatsoever. It cannot happen. We have to revamp our system. I hate saying that, but we have to. The Supreme Court has to be changed. Yep. Obviously, the way we do things in Congress and Senate have to be done. Things have to be changed because it just cannot ever happen again.
Well, and that's why, and I appreciate you being as equally fired up about that as I am. Or the system is broken, no question about that. And to fix the system, we may have to break some more parts of it so that we can properly rebuild it. I do believe that that's where we are. And I know that if we work this hard to get the House back and to get the Senate back on a federal level, that the benefits of all of that are going to be felt in all 50 states, because it'll allow us to reset some of the things that he's trying to do through executive orders. It's not going to drop oil prices immediately. That's going to take some time, depending on how much further we go in this war.
That's all those questionable
things,
here.
Yeah, I mean, all those things are going to be realities that we're going to have to deal with. But when it comes to something that I said a number of times now, and you have as well, when it comes to prosecuting the crimes, prosecuting the actions or the inaction of many people, the Democrats, and I'm just saying this now, and I know you and I'll touch on this again, they've got a very short runway before they lose the faith of people that got them elected. And that short runway is next June of 2027 is not when they should start thinking about the prosecution, the hearings, and all the rest. It's day one stuff. I mean, and I said, you heard me say this, somebody running on, some people are going to, when we take back the House, some people are going to jail, and we're going to take care of the economy and affordability. We're going to walk and chew gum. That's a winning conversation in my mind. So I agree with you. They don't have the time. They can't wait. They've got to get in and maybe break a few more things to be in a position to fix some things, but it's got to happen.
How many times have I said on January 21st, 2021, he should have been arrested?
Yeah, without a doubt.
How many times have I said that? That would have happened. If that would have happened, we would not be right here where we are today. And because we did not act, because we failed to do what we needed to do, what we should have done, this is where we are at today.
Yeah.
So we can't allow that to happen again. I agree with you 100% on what you're saying. So
I think coming out of the gate is what we've said it today. We're gonna say it many, many more times because that's gonna be the expectation of this newly elected Congress if the Democrats take back House and Senate. And we have, here's the thing. I know people may get tired of hearing this, but one of the questions that's been asked is, what do we do? What do we do? Well, we've been doing a lot. All of us have. In these special elections, these off-year elections, whatever we want to call them, we've been doing a lot. We've been winning a lot. We haven't won everything. And we know that. So we have to keep that momentum going. Part of the momentum is to win in November. But then we can't just go, okay, I hate to say it this way, Kurt, but we can take a deep breath now. Well, we can, but we can't sit down because that is exactly the recipe for disaster and what Democrats, when we've been in power and we've had enough of it to make something happen, whether it be, the Supreme Court, D.C. statehood, voting, John Lewis voting amendment, all those things, the Electoral College, as we're talking about voting, all those things have to happen, and they have to happen really fast. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know we're running out of time, and I've got one topic I want to talk about real quick that nobody's talked about. Okay, Friday night on national TV, many of us watched the women's Final Four.
Yes.
And we witnessed a white male coach from Connecticut, Gino Emma, however you say his name, berate a black female coach on national TV for something that he accused her of doing that she did not do, shaking his hand before the game. Now, if the situation had been spun, if she had done that to him, or if a black male coach had done that to a white female coach, where would that story have led? Okay. Yeah. Here's my point of it all. This is the base of the problem in our country right here. We saw white supremacy playing out on national television between two coaches. Okay. Yeah, now, this guy obviously stewed on this the entire ball game because it was the first thing that he reacted on at the end of the game. He also showed his frustration at the end of the third quarter when they interviewed him and accused her of things. His mind wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
Gino lost that game. He failed as a coach. Maybe it's time for Gino to step aside. But I was appalled at what I saw. And then the commentators on the Sunday National Championship game were criticized because they were talking about it.
I know.
So
I appreciate you bringing it up, brother, and we'll talk about that, and we'll envelope that into another conversation the next time you're on, because it is something that I was bothered by too. but we're running out of time. But I appreciate you bringing that up, brother.
I appreciate you letting me bring that up.
We will get into that in a bigger context. Let's take a quick break. Kurt, thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. Love to see you, as always. 773-763-9278 is the number. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT, AM 820 in Chicago. And now AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. And also WARR down in Warren County, North Carolina. We'll be right back.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Is credit card or other debt making it difficult to pay your rent or mortgage? Home insecurity is often the unintended consequence of an inability to pay mounting credit card debt, student loans, or medical debt. But by working with a nonprofit credit counselor, you can avoid or reduce the risk of eviction or foreclosure while tackling debt for good. For more information about how nonprofit credit counseling can help, visit nfcc.org. Made possible in part by the nonprofit Wells Fargo Foundation.
A tree can be a warrior, battling global challenges with greater courage. A tree can be a solution, cleaning our air, supporting our communities, and protecting our wildlife. A tree can be noble, growing hope in every corner of the world. That's why now is the time for trees. Millions of trees. Join our planting movement at arborday.org.
There are 1,000 ways to say it.
Nope. Knock it off. Shut it down. Dream on. No dice. Give it a rest. Not a chance.
Or just.
All text. You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA. You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Skies will become mostly sunny here for today with a high in the upper 60s. Breezy south winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late, increasing cloud cover, a low near 54. By Thursday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, cloudy skies, high of 67 degrees. Friday, chance for rain, high of 54. That's your latest Chicago weather update.
Currently, it's 39.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
We may be waking up, but we're still engaged. It's Choose Views with Richard Chew.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being with us, and thanks to our good friend Kurt Mullett from Hoosier Blue 63. So we have a great bench of folks that have just recently run for office here in Illinois with the primaries that we just saw, from Senate to a lot of the House races. And we also have some great folks that are already on the squad, that are already doing great work, congressional leaders. And with us this morning is one of our own right here in the Chicago metropolitan area, and that's our congressman from the 5th Congressional District, Mike Quigley. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Choose Views.
Glad to be here. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, he's in studio. He's not in Washington, D.C., with his boxing gloves on or a hockey stick, getting ready to flick a hockey puck at somebody. I saw that clip of you. That was pretty cool.
Well, some members have putting greens in their offices. We have a hockey net. I still play hockey a couple times a week. Gets out frustrations you can imagine.
Yeah.
In hockey, you can run into somebody and not get in trouble. It's considered okay. If I did it on the house floor, they might notice.
Well, listen, Congressman, you probably have wanted to. I'm not going to put words in your mouth or actions in your spirit, but you probably have wanted to run into some folks, or as my mother would have said, or hit somebody upside the head with a hockey stick.
You know, there's a great President Obama story about at a certain point in life how you stay in shape and how you get out your frustrations. He still plays basketball. I still play hockey. The way he described it is you need a rabbit. After 40, you can't sit on a treadmill and watch MS or CNN and stay in shape. You need to have something you're chasing to get the intensity you need. So, you know, for me, it's a hockey puck. For him, it's a basketball. I encourage everyone listening, as intense, as aggravating, as stressful as the world is, you know, we encourage people to engage, to step up. There's things to do, but you got to get away from it. Yeah. And this maybe or may not be an aside for the issues of the day, but you just can't. It's a toxic environment, and I encourage my friends, my family, my staff. Yeah, stay informed, but you also have to get away, go walk your dog. Whatever sport you can get at the Y or the Park District, go do that too. Get out in nature because we need you strong, and you can't be strong if this is constantly tearing you down. Yeah. So for me, it's my family, it's hockey. You know, and we were at an event last night at the Center on Halstead, meeting with constituents. That inspires me. I don't think I was ever more proud to be a Chicagoan than the reaction to ICE.
Really?
You know, it's hard for me when people say, what can they do about that? When you think about it, can I tell someone, yeah, you got to go engage ICE, when I know that people have been shot, people have been killed? But to see them do everything from that to walking school buses to, you know, all the other things that they did to help their neighbors. But that charges my batteries up. We go back to D.C. next week, so I appreciate my friends, my constituents who are so engaged and are still so caring.
Yeah, you know, Congressman, it's good measure. I'm glad you said that. Last Friday, I think it was, last Friday's show, as we wrapped up, I said, listen, you know, it's Good Friday, it's Easter weekend for those who celebrate. Find ways, because it is crazy what we're all dealing with. You deal with it as an elected official. We deal with it here as a station that's trying to promote and push the concept and the ideas of being, you know, good progressive Democrats. But we all, I said to everyone, you know, try to back away from the fire a little bit, recalibrate, get your breath, and then be able to come back to fight yet another day. And so I appreciate you reminding folks of that. And whether it be with the hockey stick, a basketball, a golf club, or just going to like you said, to get out and walk. You have been doing this for a while, and you know, you obviously have been one to learn a lot along the way about how to navigate this crazy thing that we call democracy. So the question that a couple people that I asked to send me some thoughts about what's important to them in this moment, and talking with someone like you, is do you feel that we as a party right now on a federal level, congressional level, and all the rest, do you feel that we're on message or have a message that is resonating with the larger body politic?
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, and it's the question, I think what you're seeing in the state race in Florida, where Democrats picked up a seat near Mar-a-Lago, right, and you see the race being competitive to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene, is you see extraordinary dissatisfaction with the president. We get all that, but you still have to offer something else, right? So I think that's what we need to still build upon. What is our path? What do we think is important? I will tell you, my sense in listening to the caucus and my fellow Democrats is they get that the issue in the mayor's race in New York, it really wasn't culture wars. It is the same issue that I hear about in Oklahoma from my Republican colleagues, California, Florida, Eugene, Oregon. It's about affordability. And if this war in Iran does anything locally, it's remind us that what happens over there affects us over here. Interest rates rising, obviously gas, energy costs going up, makes everything more expensive. It is that we need to be hyper-focused on, I think, the opposite of what Biden was saying. I think Biden was saying everything's fine. And if we learned anything, it's you can't tell the American people how they're feeling. You can't tell them that don't worry, the economy's great when they're feeling it. We need to understand that and show them a pathway of how to make housing more affordable, right? Affordability is the issue, and I think, especially in Chicago, it begins with the issue of housing. So we need to have, and we do have, a series of bills that will address that issue. At the same time, there's other issues right now. Obviously, the war in Iran, but the pocketbook prices, healthcare issues, how we're going to hit that ground running. And then, of course, before we get to the election, it's will this be a free and fair and open election? What can happen between now and even November, where what we view as a tyrant, an autocrat, a president who would try to circumvent that. So we need to address all those issues. But, when I go back, I see a party that gets that. It can be incoherent at times, but it's a big tent. And that's also our strength, the fact that we have divergent views. Let's face facts. AOC can talk to people and different folks in a way that sends a message to them that's similar, but there's a common theme as our centrist Democrats can message to their groups. Key point, it's what I stressed last night. If we want to change the world, we're going to have to change some minds out there. How the hell did Trump win a second term after what happened in the first? Those are the folks we've got to change their minds if we want to solidify, not just win the House, win the Senate and the White House.
So in terms of changing minds, and that kind of leads to my other question. There's so many nuanced things and so many detailed things that we can get into, and I know that we've got a limited amount of time with your busy schedule, but let's talk about that, because I think a lot of people want to know, and I said this earlier to one of our earlier guests, that when we win the midterms, and I'm confident that you guys are going to take back the House and hopefully the Senate, there's not a lot of time to get things going. I think that a lot of people that are going to support the Democratic Party to make that happen in terms of winning these congressional seats that we need so that you guys are back in power, and so as well as it relates to the Senate, it's people are going to want to see things happen fairly quickly. And I know that isn't always the reality. I get that, because I know the sausage making takes some time. But I think that at least folks are going to be wanting to see that there is real action taking place. Are we going to be going after certain, having hearings to get information to potentially prosecute people? Are we going to navigate through this affordability in ways that will be meaningful and people can go, yep, the Democrats got it right this time? That's the question that I think is really looming for so many people right now. How are you prepared, along with the Democratic colleagues, to deal with that?
Yeah, and that's a great question. A couple things. I'm confident about November, but the last thing we can do is take anything for granted.
Right.
And it's I believe we'll win the House back, but the more seats we win, the easier it is to hit the ground running. So this has to be overwhelming, right? So engage, don't take it for granted. I think the things that people can look forward to as we hit the ground running is, under the House rules and the way the courts have argued, the leader, Jeffries, cannot sue the Trump administration, they don't have standing in the courts.
Right.
Only the Speaker can. So we have had to rely on Lambda Legal and ACLU and others who have done great work. And the attorneys general, Kwame's done an amazing job here in Illinois. But we can start suing. We can be active in these cases. That's going to make a real change. That's important. We can also make sure they don't pass anything that's as horrible as what they're going to try to do.
You mean prior to in the lame duck window?
Look, with what they're going to do before the lame duck is scary about elections. What they do in reconciliation starting next week is going to be scary. So, look, we're going to have lawsuits. We're going to be able to stop the horrible things they're trying to do. I would tell you we will pass some significant legislation out of the House. If we win the Senate, maybe there as well, that addresses the concerns that people have had for some time. I'm not sure. You can expect that to be law because the president won't sign it.
Right.
We're not going to have the votes to override that. But, those are significant successes. It also will lead up to most complex legislation has a little bit of an evolution that it takes to get there, right? As we saw with civil rights and so forth. We're going to pass this stuff out of the House, and then just, if we don't get it past the White House, we certainly will when we win the White House back. A lot of this stuff will be teeing up and getting this stuff ready to go, and it's extremely exciting to see that and what that means.
Yeah.
But obviously, we will recapture the power of the purse. You will see President Trump's response, I promise you, will be more executive orders, more unilateral decisions, and what he's going. But we can make that incredibly difficult for him, if not stop him outright from the more horrible things going on.
Let's take a quick break, Congressman. The number is 773-763-9278. You're listening to Choose Views on WCPT, AM 820 in Chicago, WARR 1520 AM and 103.5 FM from Warren County, North Carolina, and to our great folks at AM 950 up in Minnesota. We will be right back.
This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. When Pearl Harbor was attacked, men of all races across the country volunteered to join the fight, despite the United States Army being heavily segregated. Black enlistees were mostly assigned to combat support roles. But this did not stop Lieutenant Colonel Paul L. Bates, who knew of the racism and pushed his soldiers to achieve excellence. The 761st Tank Battalion was formed in the spring of 1942. It contained 30 black officers, 6 white officers, and 676 enlisted men. The unit donned the nickname the Black Panthers, wearing patches on their uniforms with a panther on it and the slogan, "Come Out Fighting." And in 1944, the 761st was assigned to General George Patton's Third Army in France. General Patton gave a colorful speech to his crew, and the Black Panthers became the first African-American tank squad in World War II. And by the end of the war, the Black Panthers had fought further east than every other United States unit, receiving 391 decorations for their heroism.
These are real stories of speech-language pathologists and the people they helped. He was in his 30s.
55 and far from home.
15 years old with multiple disabilities.
It was a traumatic brain injury.
He's bilingual but lost his English after the stroke.
Several surgeries led to his swallowing disorder.
His goal was to get back to work.
I used French during therapy.
Others almost gave up on the goal of him eating.
Oh, he was dedicated.
Together, we built his life back.
Social interaction was the key to helping him.
And he made it back to work.
When he ate, his friends cheered.
Everyone has the right to communicate.
And later, he was able to travel across the world to his family.
Are you or someone you know experiencing a speech, language, or swallowing disorder? An ASHA-certified speech-language pathologist can help. Visit us at asha.org/public.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
No fake news here. It's Choose Views
with Richard Chu.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm with Congressman Mike Quigley from Illinois' 5th Congressional District. Congressman, before we wrap up, I know you got to scoot. We were saying during the break that one of the big things that's got to happen, we got a lot of folks coming into Congress that are new, but your goal is to be kind of a bridge to get them up and running as quickly as possible. Talk about that.
I was lucky to win a special election when somebody named Rahm went on to do other things. And I had a lot of friends I went to ask advice. The people we have coming in from Illinois are experienced. They're going to hit the ground running. But there's still a lot of institutional memory. I see it as my job to help them bridge that gap. The second thing is we're losing people like Dick Durbin with incredible seniority in the Senate, where that's king. And people like Danny and Jan, who are on critical committees. It takes a while to get to those critical committees. As I see it, my job is to advise and to help talk my colleagues into moving those people coming into those spots high up as quickly as possible, because it's really important to Illinois to have that influence, to have that seniority. It's why it matters. This is a body that feeds on seniority, but I still think they can make a tremendous impact because we have elected a great group of folks coming in. I look forward to their energy and expertise adding to the mix.
Yeah, and that's true across the country. We've added some folks in other states than just Illinois. We've added a lot here, but we've also seen some of the same things taking place out on the West Coast, in New York, and other states. So I'm excited about that for you guys. Congressman, thanks for being with us this morning. I know you got a busy schedule. What's one last little nugget that you want to give our listeners here and all over the rest of the country?
The vote in the House is 218 to 214. So only one Republican can fall by the side if they want to pass anything. We are using our leverage to the extent possible. You have now seen 4 procedural efforts, discharge petitions, where we have forced war powers, for example, onto the floor. I think Epstein was the issue, created a crack, a fissure, where the president didn't have a complete stranglehold over the Republicans in the House. I think you're going to continue to see that. I think the war in Iran is going to add to that. I think you'll see more Republicans break away on these critical issues. So we have our voice and our vote until we get the gavels back. I think you're going to see more success, and at the very least stopping the president's agenda from taking over everything. We're going to do our best.
Absolutely. Congressman Mike Quigley, thanks for being with us this morning. We're going to let you go, and we're going to have you back next time you're back in town.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. We won't take a break. Let's grab a quick call. Let's go to Mary Pat real quick. Hey, Mary Pat. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. How you doing this morning? You're commuting right now, I can tell.
Yes, I am. I am commuting safely, hands-free technology. Thank you for having Mike Quigley on this morning. And I just wanted to ask or put a plea out there to members of Congress and Democrats running to emphasize the affordability issues and ways to fix them first before you start hammering away at prosecuting. As much as we would like to see the members of the cabal that's in power behind bars, that's not going to get votes. You got to really emphasize how are you going to make people's lives better.
Yeah.
And I think that those action items have to be first before the prosecution stuff. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get people off their butts and going to vote this time if you really emphasize the plans that they have to make people's lives better.
Well, Mary Pat, I have to take a little bit of the responsibility. It's been me that's saying that the walking and chewing gum is what we want our folks to be doing right now. I think there's a call from a lot of people for prosecution, or at least for holding folks to account. At the same time, affordability has got to be it has to be part of the things that are getting done, part of that equation. So I agree with you. Affordability is probably going to touch more people more quickly, more readily. I agree with you there. And keep in mind that it's been Richard Chu saying, I want to see some of the people that have caused these harms, that have broken the laws and all the rest, to be held account for that. So that's coming more from me than it is from Congressman Quigley. But I hear you loud and clear. Touch people first with what's going to matter to their lives most directly. And that's a winning strategy, or has to be part of the winning strategy. So thank you for that, Mary Pat.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Be safe on your commute. Talk to you soon.
All right. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Matt real quickly.
Hey, Richard. Real quick, just a quick statement, and then I'll pose a question for you to answer. First of all, I'll say what you and Kurt didn't want to say because you're so politically eloquent, but I hope Trump has his last Big Mac tomorrow.
Because you mean because he's going to go on a diet?
Not because he's changing his eating habits. No. But here's my question, and this is where I agree with the previous caller. Other than just grandstanding and making a marketing spectacle of it, even if we win Congress, nothing is going to be done. You have to have 60 seats in the Senate, and we're never going to get that. The only way to get that is to create a new acorn and go out and get everybody registered, help them get the documents that they need in order to vote, because that's all the Republicans do. They create some manufactured crisis, such as, undocumented people voting, and it used to be acorn, all these people voting illegally. And so until you get more people in the process, we are never going to control the Senate, and nothing will come of it. As much as I'd love to see all these grifters prosecuted, all their assets frozen, it's never going to happen. And so I'll take my answer off the air is, how do we accomplish that in your view?
Thanks, Matt. All right, be safe, man. He makes a great point, and we're coming to the end of the show, so I don't want to go too deep into this, and maybe this is something we can tackle. But I'll say this as quickly as I can. Yes, we have to win back the House, and we have to win back the Senate. We have to do that. Now, the other side of it is, so that we aren't grandstanding, Matt, in my observation, is, and this is the answer to your question about the numbers, getting to 60. Yeah, that's another hill to climb. How do we get to 60? Based on how the country's divided on a statewide election basis, meaning U.S. senators are statewide elected officials. We've got to get more people in the process. And what you partly said was, Matt, that we've got to get more people involved. And I agree. We've got to have more people voting with information about what the current or past representatives have done to hurt them. This is where I say we can talk about what Republicans have done on a state basis as well as a federal basis to hurt the country and to hold the country back and to be repressive. We have to identify those things. I don't think we should shy away from identifying, here's what their policies have done to hurt you. And then the other part of that is what we're going to do to help you. That's got to be part of the messaging, I believe, from Democrats. Who's hurt you, who's here to help you, and how that's going to benefit your life. I don't know if that is the solution, Matt, but I know it should be part of the conversation. It's got to be part of the dialogue. And it is, me proverbially saying walking and chewing gum at the same time. I agree with Mary Pat as well. We want affordability items to be on the table. Maybe before the prosecutorial part, I don't know. Maybe it is, again, a walk and chew gum moment, but I think we have to consider both. Because there are people that want prosecution as much as there are people that want affordability items to be talked about and to be implemented. So there's a lot of work, and that means it requires a lot of people being on the team, being ready to fight, and we appreciate you guys being a part of what we're doing here. Thanks for listening today. Thanks to Dr. Mora and John Anderson, cancer survivor, for being with us. Thanks to Kurt Mullett, as always, and Congressman Mike Quigley for stopping in for a brief bit this morning. Thanks to you guys. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure you stay tuned for the Stephanie Miller Show. And as always, take a deep breath and make your life count. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
After serving in the military, life can seem like an endless loop. But the cycle can be broken. You're not alone. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn more.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples, that was easy.
AP News, I'm Marcela Sanchez. The Trump administration has once again shifted its objectives for the Iran war. In a news conference at the Pentagon today, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, said the U.S. military had 3 objectives in Iran: to destroy Iran's ballistic missile and drone capabilities, to destroy its navy, and to destroy its defense industrial base. President Trump has at times named 5 objectives, but has changed them throughout the 5.5-week war. Meanwhile, the White House says nothing is final over plans for in-person talks over Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about whether Vice President J.D. Vance would be participating in the U.S.-Iran talks expected to be held later this week in Pakistan. In a statement, she said, quote, "There are discussions about in-person talks, but nothing is final until announced by the president or the White House." Wall Street surged in pre-market trading as oil prices plunged below $100 after the U.S. and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire. In other news, Georgia Republican Clay Fuller has won an election to serve out the remaining month of former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's term.
Georgia Republican Clay Fuller has won an election to serve out the remaining month of former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's term. Fuller says conservatives in his district want to see President Donald Trump's policies continue.
I think it's incredibly important to make sure that we're fighting for the president's agenda, and then if the people here, if it had gone blue, it would have been a complete tragedy for the people in Northwest Georgia.
The win bolsters the GOP's slim majority in the House to 217. There are 214 Democratic seats and 1 independent. Fuller will have to face another Republican primary May 19th to win a full 2-year term, and could face a June 16th party runoff. I'm Donna Warder.
This is AP News.
AP Sports, I'm Gethin Cool Ball. The Thunder scored a 36-point win over the Lakers, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander totaling 25 points in the 123-87 blowout. MLB, the Red Sox held off the Brewers 3-2 as Garrett Crochet helped overcome 10 strikeouts by Jacob Mizorowski with 7 of his own in 6 1/3 innings.
That's a really good kid on the other side. We made him throw strikes and we capitalized.
Braves pitcher Reynaldo Lopez and Angels DH Jorge Soler were ejected after a brawl in LA's 6-2 win. Cubs ace Cade Horton will miss the rest of the season with UCL damage in his right elbow. NHL, the Avalanche clinched the top seed in the Western Conference after a 3-1 win over the Blues, and expected top pick and QB Fernando Mendoza doesn't plan to attend the NFL Draft.
I'm Marcela Sanchez, AP News.
This is 8:20 a.m. WCPT Willow Springs and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Skies will become mostly sunny here for today with a high in the upper 60s. Breezy south winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late, increasing cloud cover, a low near 54. By Thursday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, cloudy skies, high of 67 degrees. Friday, chance for rain, high of 54. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's $39.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Margaret is a 71-year-old widow who came to Brookfield Tax Planning because she was worried her accountant and financial advisor weren't doing enough to reduce her taxes. During their free, no-obligation tax reduction review, it was revealed that Margaret had been overpaying $7,250 each year since her husband passed. $102,000 lost forever due to a lack of proactive tax planning. Her accountant does returns after the year is over when it's too late. Her advisor handles her investments but doesn't reduce her taxes. Once the year ends, tax reduction options shrink to almost nothing. Retirees and business owners should plan ahead now using legal proactive strategies to slash taxes. Stop overpaying. 94% of Brookfield's new clients are shocked that they've been paying too much every year. Call Brookfield Tax Planning at 708-485-3439 or visit BrookfieldTaxPlanning.com for your free review. You have nothing to lose. That's BrookfieldTaxPlanning.com.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Tell me how you're doing, really. Tell me that you missed the bus this morning, your rent's past due, and your stress level has skyrocketed. I'm here for you. To listen, not judge. To connect you to local mental health resources. No matter what you're going through, specialists like me from NAMI Chicago Helpline are here for you. Call or text Helpline to 833-626-4244. That's 833-626-4244.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from